Hello and welcome. Let's dive right into our analysis of potential safe haven countries based on a range of factors: climate, culture, demographics, language ease, extradition risk, the availability of forged or alternative documents, the ability to blend in anonymously, and even how expensive it is to live there. Criteria overview. When choosing a destination, consider the climate first, whether you prefer tropical heat, a temperate environment, or even cooler weather. Climate affects everything from your daily comfort to your health. Next, look at the culture and demographics. A diverse population and a rich local culture can make it easier to blend in and not stand out. Language is another key factor. Some places have a robust expat community or widespread English usage, which can simplify your day-to-day life. The legal landscape is crucial too. Ideally, you want a country that either lacks a formal extradition treaty with major Western nations or enforces extradition very selectively, lowering your risk of being handed over to authorities. Additionally, some countries have underground networks where forged documents are easier to procure, which is essential for starting fresh with a new identity. Finally, the overall expense is important. Cost of living, residency fees, housing, and everyday expenses can vary widely. You need a place that not only offers anonymity but also suits your financial means. Destination breakdown. Cambodia. Cambodia offers a tropical climate with year-round heat and humidity, punctuated by a distinct rainy season that shapes local life. The country is steeped in Khmer culture, where ancient traditions mix with a modern urban pulse in Phnom Penh, while the countryside remains quiet and less monitored. Although Khmer is the official language, English is widely used in tourist areas and business circles, which can ease your transition. Legally, Cambodia's extradition enforcement is inconsistent, offering a relatively low risk from international law enforcement. Its underground markets are notorious for providing forged documents, making it easier to establish a new identity. For those who value discretion, Cambodia's bustling urban centers and secluded rural areas create numerous opportunities to blend in. On the expense front, Cambodia is one of the more affordable destinations in Southeast Asia, with low costs for housing, food, and transportation, ideal if you're planning a long-term stay on a moderate budget. South America, Argentina and Brazil. Argentina, with its varied climate, ranges from the temperate, cosmopolitan vibes of Buenos Aires to the cooler, more remote regions like Patagonia. The country's culture is a rich fusion of European and indigenous influences, creating vibrant neighborhoods and an expansive urban scene that naturally offers anonymity. Spanish is the dominant language, yet many urbanites speak some English, and a strong expat community can help you adjust. Argentina's extradition framework is relatively relaxed, which, combined with available underground networks for forged documents, makes it attractive. Living costs in Argentina can vary greatly, but major cities like Buenos Aires are generally affordable compared to Western standards, though economic volatility is a consideration. Brazil is vast and diverse. Its tropical climate, particularly in cities like Rio de Janeiro and São Paulo, offers a dynamic urban environment where millions of people create natural anonymity. The cultural tapestry is a vibrant mix of indigenous, African, and European influences, and although Portuguese is the primary language, metropolitan areas often have communities where English is spoken. Brazil's legal system presents moderate extradition risks, especially if you can secure local citizenship, and while the market for forged documents isn't as open as in Southeast Asia, certain local channels exist. In terms of expenses, Brazil can be moderately priced, though costs vary widely between expensive urban centers and more affordable regional cities. Both countries provide a blend of cultural richness and affordable living that makes them appealing for those seeking to start over without breaking the bank. Mexico. Mexico boasts a warm climate with regional variations, from the arid north to the tropical south, making it adaptable to different lifestyle preferences. Its culture is a vibrant blend of indigenous and Spanish influences, and its large cities, such as Mexico City and Guadalajara, offer diverse and bustling urban environments where anonymity is achievable. Spanish is the dominant language, yet in many tourist and expat areas, English is widely understood, easing everyday communication. Although Mexico has extradition treaties with Western nations, the enforcement of these treaties can be inconsistent, particularly in regions where local corruption or limited resources come into play. There are also established underground markets that facilitate the procurement of forged documents. The cost of living in Mexico is relatively low compared to many developed countries, with affordable housing, food, and services, especially if you avoid the most tourist-heavy areas. This combination of legal leniency, accessible alternative documentation, and affordable living makes Mexico a practical option for those looking to vanish into a new life. Indonesia. Indonesia's tropical climate is characterized by a humid atmosphere with distinct wet and dry seasons, particularly in coastal areas that tend to be very warm. As an archipelago, Indonesia offers an incredible diversity of cultural and demographic landscapes, from the bustling, crowded urban environment of Jakarta to remote, secluded islands where you can escape notice. Bahasa Indonesia is the official language, but in business and tourist hubs, English is commonly spoken. Although Indonesia does have extradition treaties, enforcement is inconsistent, which, when coupled with underground networks that facilitate forged document procurement, provide significant flexibility. Urban centers offer anonymity amidst millions of residents, while the many islands allow you to choose a lifestyle that ranges from vibrant city life to quiet isolation. Indonesia is generally affordable, with low costs for housing, food, and everyday expenses, although prices can vary significantly depending on the region and lifestyle choices. Iran. Iran's climate varies dramatically. Central areas are typically arid or semi-arid, while regions along the Caspian coast offer milder, more temperate weather. Iranian culture is steeped in rich Persian history and traditions, and major cities such as Tehran and Isfahan provide a mix of modern urban life and historical depth. While Farsi is the official language, some urban areas have established expat communities and limited English usage, though adapting to the local language is advisable for deeper integration. Legally, Iran maintains limited extradition ties with many Western countries, lowering your risk of international legal pursuit. An underground market exists for forged documents, though navigating this network may require reliable local contacts. Urban anonymity in Iran is achievable in its large cities, where millions of residents and a complex social structure help you remain inconspicuous. Regarding expenses, Iran can be very affordable in terms of daily living costs, but fluctuations due to sanctions and economic conditions should be monitored closely. Russia. Russia is vast, with a climate that varies widely, from harsh, freezing winters in many regions to relatively mild summers in its urban centers like Moscow and St. Petersburg. The country's deep cultural heritage and enormous population offer significant opportunities for blending in. In megacities, you can easily become just another face in the crowd. Russian is the primary language, and while it presents a learning curve, mastering it is key to effective integration. One of Russia's most notable legal advantages is that it generally does not extradite its own citizens, so obtaining local citizenship can serve as a powerful safeguard. An underground network for forged documents exists, although state surveillance is intense, so reliable local contacts are essential. Urban anonymity in Russia is supported by vast cities with millions of inhabitants, although the cost of living can vary considerably. Moscow and St. Petersburg are more expensive, while smaller cities and rural areas can be quite affordable. While Russia's expense levels might be higher than in some Southeast Asian or South American countries, there is a range of options that can suit different budgets, particularly if you manage to secure a stable residency status. Thank you for watching.